Our next speaker was co-founder and owner of Davis and Durand, a help-wanted ad agency with 50 employees, 3 offices, and $22 million in billing. She now works with her husband and fellow Rough Rider, speaking for results, sharpening executives' influencing skills. The past few years have been challenging, but have brought us even closer. Giving her speech, "The Wiggle Made Me Giggle," please welcome Rande Davis Gedaliah.
Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow Rough Riders, Sierra Club members and guests, very honored guests, we have a lot of them today. It was early 2003. My thumb gave a little wiggle. It was like a belly dancer, and it was gone in a second. And I said, wow, that's really interesting. I have a strange new friend. And I couldn't wait for it to happen again. And then about a month later, it did. My thumb gave a little wiggle. And then the little wiggle turned into a big wiggle. And it was joined by my index finger, and then my other fingers, and then my whole hand. I went to a neurologist who gave me a battery of tests. And by the end, he said, I believe you have Parkinson's. I knew it, but oh my God, to hear it, oh, it was, to me, it was like a death sentence. It was Halloween, October 31st, 2003. He said, take these pills. If they work, you have Parkinson's. Oh, by the way, they might make your mouth a little dry. A little dry, my whole mouth turned white. When I brushed my teeth, I had projectile bleeding. I said, you know, how am I going to tell my husband? We've just gone through this hellacious year. I don't want to burden him with one more thing. He said, so don't tell him. I didn't see Dr. Weinberger again. Yay. By the way, the pills may have made me dry, but the pain and the shakes did stop. Not worth it. I didn't tell anyone that I had Parkinson's, not even my parents. We went out to dinner with some friends, the Snells, and I didn't tell them either because I didn't want that, oh, poor baby look. And every time I'd say it, it made it more real. So I avoided speaking the word. And we're having dinner, and I ordered a steak. A mistake, because all I could use was this hand. And all I could eat were the mashed potatoes and the spinach. And by the end of the dinner, my friend Nancy said to me, Rande, you were hungry. You haven't touched your steak. Why haven't you? And I burst into tears, and I raised my hand, and I said, this is why. And she said, my dear friend, why didn't you tell me? My nutritionist has Parkinson's, and she has a wonderful doctor. So through her, I found my angel, Dr. Rachel Saunders Pullman. Not only is she a movement disorder specialist, but her niche is women who develop Parkinson's after menopause. And that was me. Within a year of my menopause, I developed Parkinson's. And I'm in a research study. She is wonderful. I had an incident last month on March 12th. I was on my hands and knees on the closet floor trying to find something. And all of a sudden, my body froze, and I started to shake uncontrollably, and I couldn't move. And it scared the heck out of me, because I heard the stories of people with Parkinson's that they go along with fine, I have very few symptoms, and then all of a sudden, it drops off precipitously. You become incapacitated. And I said, is this the beginning of my end? Is this my journey for the rest of my lifetime? And it scared the heck out of me. However, there are some funny things. I had to give up my ego. Because Robert and I, when we travel, we love to go to museums. And I can't stand for very long, and I can't move slowly. And I like to look at pictures and statues for longer than just a few seconds. So I have to use a wheelchair. And I had to give up my ego and my embarrassment. And besides, it's the only time I let Robert push me around. By the way, I recommend a wheelchair even if you don't need it. I speed through security at airports. I can get on airplanes first because I need help. I recommend it. It's wonderful. The other things is, I'm using notes today, which I usually don't, especially at a serum meeting. I have severe memory loss, especially short-term memory loss. I must have done this speech 100 times, and I still can't remember it all. We went out to dinner with our friends, the Snells that I mentioned, and we went to a restaurant that we frequented. And the owner came over to say, hello, Kathy. And I said, Kathy, I'd like you to meet our dear friends, Ellen and Peter. And she said, hello, Ellen and Peter, nice to meet you. Please come back. And after Kathy left, Robert said to me, Randy, their names are Nancy and Stephen. These are our best friends. We had been with them for 10 years or so. Tweezing has become a very interesting adventure. If I don't get that sucker on the first try, I leave them alone. I'll put my eye out. And contact lenses, by the way. Contact lenses, you can picture. Getting that thing on the tip of my finger with this hand trying to balance it is really challenging. And then taking that little bottle of water and trying to get a drop on that lens. I either drown it or I miss it completely. It takes me about 20 minutes to get my lenses in. But the best thing that happens is my husband and I have been together for 32 years. And he used to be able to take my bra off beautifully. Now I need him to put it on. The worst parts are the things you don't see. I mentioned the memory loss, the insomnia, the depression, the pain, the constipation, and the meds that make me so dry that I have to take a sip of seltzer every once in a while. And I have to carry eye drops wherever I go. NYU Medical Center has developed a program, a series of exercise programs that they hold at the JCC. I'm a guinea pig and I'm loving it. Robert's in their caregivers program, and I'm taking 4 of their exercise programs. Me, my goodness. And they save me. They give me a sense of control over my body. I can control who I am. I hate exercise. I never exercised in my whole life. I hated it. Now I'm going 4 times a week and loving it. I used to start every meal with Hellmann's mayonnaise and ended up with Haagen-Dazs. And I lost 50 pounds because now I'm eating salads and hummus, and my dessert is celery stalks with a little bit of organic peanut butter. I've lost those 50 pounds and I've kept them off, and 20 more to go. April is National Parkinson's Month. And as Nina mentioned, there's a Parkinson's Unity Walk this Saturday. Every penny raised goes for research. Every penny. Dr. Mehmet Oz says that Parkinson's cure is within 9 years. I want him to be right. When I joined Toastmasters, this club, I was terrified to speak, and I didn't shake. Now I'm not terrified, and I'm shaking like that. Life's ironies. I'm 6.5 years diagnosed, and I'm pretty okay. I accept what is because it is. I've never asked why me, because then I'd have to say, why me to have such a wonderful husband? Why me to have such great friends and family? I have Parkinson's, but it doesn't have me. Wow. I went from victim to victor. I want to be the poster child for Parkinson's. I fully intend to do that. The wiggle may not make me giggle anymore, but man, the shakes don't make me quake. Oh. Mr. Toastmaster. are walking with me and Robert, with our dream team, and several of you have made donations, and I'm very grateful. So thank you very much. If anyone else wants to participate, I have a couple of flyers. So thank you. You've really moved me.
Great job. Okay, make some comments for